Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Press play!
Jesus, we know we belong here because of your love for us that goes on and on forever. Jesus, we know you are with us wherever we go. You're there, we'll always be together.
So sing along with me for all the joy he brings.
It's going down. Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Jesus, we know we belong here because of your love for us that goes on and on forever. Jesus, we know you are with us wherever we go. You're there, we'll always be together.
So sing along with me for all the joy he brings.
It's going down. Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Oh, oh.
Press play.
Oh, oh.
Press play. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna break it down one time, y'all. You gotta sing it out with all you got. Y'all ready? Come on, come on. Clap your hands like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Clap your hands like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Now clap your hands like this. Like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Now clap your hands like this. Like this. Everybody get in the mix.
Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh,
Press play.
Hello, Kidville. We are back at it, ready to press play and get in the mix. This is week 3 of press play. Let's think about movies for a sec. You know how in movies, the music is really important. Like if you hear scary music, you know something scary is gonna happen. You've got like dun, 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 and you know who's coming and you're starting to get worried. But at the same time, if something like really triumphant is happening and the good guys are winning, then there's going to be music that shows that victory and you get all excited and everyone's feeling good with the music. Well, some movies have like theme songs, right? And especially when there is a hero involved, because the theme song of the hero comes on and he swoops in and you know that the good guy is coming. And there's a hero in pretty much every kind of story, right? The hero is someone who saves the day, but maybe it's someone that you least expect. You don't always know who the hero is going to be, or they don't always seem like a hero. But whether it's a cartoon or a musical or just a regular superhero flick, the hero often has a theme song, something that they sing or that plays in the background that you know that they have showed up on screen. The hero is here. So like when you hear like dun da 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 dun da 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 da, then you know that like the resistance is starting to succeed and the battle is going well, there's going to be a rescue, or that battle is going to be won, and the music helps you feel like that and know what's happening. And I have confidence that everything's going to be okay. Well, confidence, when we have confidence, we can make the world a better place because we learn to see ourselves the way that God sees us. And God thinks that we're pretty awesome. If we know that God loves us and that He is there on our team, fighting for us and helping us out, He can use you to be the hero in the story that you're going through. You can get in the mix and you can share His love everywhere you go. Well, today let's think about some of our favorite superheroes, all right? And I want to know, do you know the theme song of each of these amazing heroes, all right? So I already sang you some Star Wars. We've got a lot of heroes and villains in here, right? But we always know who the good guys are. We've got Superman, right? He's like a da 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 da, right? We got Superman flying in. That was one of my favorites. Got Spider-Man, right? Da 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 da. And we know all the words to that one. And now we have a new Spider-Man, and he's all like, "What's up, danger? What's up, danger? Don't be a stranger," right? And he's number 2 Spider-Man there. We've got da na 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 na. Who is it? Right? Of course, Batman. He is there to save the city and fight the crime and take care of everything. What else do we have here? We've got the Incredibles. They've got all kinds of funky jazz music. They're coming in as a family to save the day. Even we've got some heroes that have all kinds of new things. And you know, this is Moana, and she's singing, "No one knows so far it goes," da da da, right? And then you've got the Avengers, super suspenseful with all these superheroes coming in, da 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 da, right? And superheroes, they've got all kinds of fun sound effects, and you know that they're there to save the day, to fight the crime, to rescue the people who need help, and to save the day. So superheroes are pretty awesome. And I think that you probably knew a lot of those. Maybe there's more superheroes that you like that we didn't cover. But we know that superheroes are a great example to us. And we wish we had powers, right? We wish we had powers to do things like that. And we want to be the hero to save the day. Well, we want to talk about how we can do that and how God has made us to do some awesome things. So I hope you enjoyed worshiping together with Press Play earlier, and we are getting into it. I mean, let's face it, God is the biggest superhero ever, right? He is the absolute best hero. He has saved the day through Jesus, right? Hopefully you know that song, "Jesus, you're my superhero," right? We know that. So let's check out an amazing true story of someone who did not think of themselves as a hero, just an ordinary guy, but God used him for something big.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Judges, chapters 6 through 8.
As many times before the Israelites turned away from God, He allowed the Midianites to take over their land. God's people hid out in caves. When they tried to grow plants or tend to livestock, the Midianites would show up and destroy their crops and animals. At last, the Israelites cried out to God for help. He heard them and sent the angel of the Lord to a man named Gideon, who was threshing grain in a winepress.
"Mighty warrior, the Lord is with you."
All Gideon could do for a moment was stop and stare.
Pardon me, sir. You said the Lord is with us? Then why has all this happened? The Lord has deserted us.
You are strong. Go and save Israel from the power of Midian. I am sending you.
Pardon me, sir, but how can I possibly save Israel? My family is the weakest in the tribe, and I'm the least important member.
I will be with you.
Even with a direct message from the Lord, Gideon was still nervous about the whole thing.
Give me a special sign. Then I'll know it's really you talking to me.
So God gave Gideon a sign, sending fire to burn up meat and bread. God's spirit was with Gideon, and when the Midianites and the Amalekites gathered to attack, Gideon sounded a trumpet for the Israelites to follow him. But even as the army gathered, Gideon once again pleaded to God for another sign. God responded by letting dew fall on a fleece, and then on the next day, only on the ground surrounding it.
Okay, I've got it. Thank you.
At last, Gideon was convinced God wanted to use him. He camped with 32,000 men at the spring of Harod and prepared for battle. Here, God spoke again.
I want to hand Midian over to you, but you have too many men.
Too many?
Israel might brag, my own strength has saved me. Announce to the army, those who tremble with fear can turn back.
Gideon did just as the Lord instructed.
There, Lord. 22,000 men have gone home. Only 10,000 left to fight.
There are still too many men.
Have you seen the Midianite army?
Take the men down to the water. There I will reduce the number of them for you.
Even though it must have worried Gideon to lose more of his army, he did just as the Lord said.
Field trip to the lake, everyone!
At the water's edge, the Lord said,
Some men will drink the way dogs do. They will lap up the water with their tongues. Separate them from those who get down on their knees to drink.
Gideon watched carefully. Most men got on their knees and drank directly from the water, but 300 men cupped the water in their hands and lifted them to their mouths to lap.
So, God, I send those 300 men home and keep the other 9,700, right?
With the help of the 300 men who lapped up the water, I will save you. Let all the other men go home.
Okay. Yes.
Gideon sent home every single person in the army except those 300 men.
Get some sleep. Tomorrow we will figure out what's next.
That night, the Lord spoke to Gideon once more.
Get up.
What? I'm awake.
Gideon stumbled out of his tent. Below, the campfires and torches of the enemy armies covered the entire valley.
So many. Like a swarm of locusts.
Go down to the camp. Listen to what they are saying. After that, you will not be afraid to attack.
Wondering if he might be dreaming, Gideon snuck down the mountain to hover in the shadows at the edge of the camp. He could hear voices from a nearby tent.
I had a dream. A round loaf of barley bread came rolling into the camp. It hit the tent with great force and knocked it flat.
Wow, but that can only be the sword of Gideon from Israel. God has given him the whole camp.
Gideon listened in shock.
Wow, God. Thank you.
At once, Gideon scrambled back up the hill to the Israelite camp.
Get up. Get up. The Lord has handed the Midianites over to you.
Quickly, Gideon separated the 300 men into 3 groups and handed each one a trumpet and a clay jar with a torch inside.
Watch me. Do what I do. I'll go to the edge of the enemy camp. Then we'll blow our trumpets from all around the camp and shout, "For the Lord and for Gideon!"
Gideon and his men headed quietly down the slope, fanning out in groups to surround the vast enemy camp.
Okay, get ready.
As soon as Gideon sounded his trumpet, he smashed his jar so the torch shone brightly. The other 300 men did the same.
For the Lord! A sword for the Lord! Gideon!
The Israelites held their ground, but their enemies panicked, confused by the trumpets and bright lights that pierced the dark night.
They're coming from everywhere.
The enemy armies were so confused, they began to fight each other, and then they fled in fear.
After the men!
Gideon and the Israelites chased their enemies all the way to the Jordan River and beyond until all the enemy armies were destroyed. The Israelites begged Gideon to rule over them.
I will not rule over you. The Lord will rule over you.
Yep, Gideon was an underdog, filled with doubt, but he still chose to follow God, and God used him to save the Israelites.
So Gideon was just a normal, ordinary guy. He didn't think of himself as very brave. He wasn't someone that people expected to save the day, that's for sure. But when you think about it, that's often how God works in people's lives. He doesn't always use the most likely hero, right? Even the new Spider-Man, he didn't think of himself as a hero. He was just an average high school kid, right? We always see those stories where people don't think that they're cut out to be the hero. We see it all throughout the Bible, that God uses people that no one else would think would be a hero, and he uses them to do great things. I mean, think about how Jesus chose these 12 ordinary guys to be his closest friends, the disciples. The disciples then went on to change the world. They bravely told everyone everywhere about Jesus. Well, remember, God can do big things through you too. You might not always feel ready. You might not feel strong enough or big enough or brave enough or talented enough. Well, in those times, you can stop and you can remind yourself that God is with you. He is the strongest one ever, and he is there with you through it all. And you can choose to trust him and to believe that he can do amazing things in your life and through you in other people's lives. Let's think about what our memory verse says. Here is something I am still sure of. I will see the Lord's goodness while I'm still alive. We know that God's going to save the day while we're still alive, and then ultimately in heaven forever because of what Jesus has done. So this is our bottom line for today, everyone. God can use you no matter what. Can you say that with me? 1, 2, 3. God can use you no matter what. So maybe that means that you'll stand up for the kid who's getting picked on and who everyone else is being mean to, or maybe you'll take on a project at home that really helps your family. Maybe you'll come up with a creative solution for something that's wrong here in your town. There's no limit to what God can do through you when you put your confidence in him and what he thinks of you and what he says about you. So, I mean, it reminds me of that, the Pancake Mama superhero song, right? Where he's just like, you might say I'm a normal kid. Most of the time, I guess I am. But when there's trouble, I'll be there. I have just the thing to wear. I'm a superhero. Look at me go. Right? So you might not have superpowers like X-ray vision or like web slinging or like a really cool technology suit, but you do have the power of Jesus living inside you because he paid for your sins and he was able to raise from the dead. So he's got the ultimate power and he is living in you when you believe in Jesus. So you've got all the power you need. He loves you no matter what, and he can use you no matter what, right? So I just want to tell you, no matter where you run, he's always holding on. You're still a daughter, you're still a son, no matter what. So I hope you know that, guys. God can use you no matter what. Stick around for another worship song so that you can tell God that you want to work with him and have his power in you. We're going to sing I Can Do All Things, and we will see you soon.
I don't have to be afraid. God is with me.